Again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video 72, and what we're going to talk about is how to delete from a database, and we're going to use the form just like I show you on the other videos, the last 2 or 3 videos where I was able to search for a name and I was able to update a name in the database because we're using the form to do this. Right now, as you remember, I kind of went like this at Andres. Oh no, let's not use Andres. Let's use, matter of fact, let's go search something. What I would like to do is view database. So you go to view the database, you got Anna Miller. Let's get rid of that one. Sorry. Just waiting for it to get to the content. Next time I just drag it down myself real fast. Alright, remember how we used the form and wanted to search something. So let's do Anna. Is there an Anna? Yeah, right here. And we're going to search for Anna. And of course we don't get no message. I mean, I could have done that. I could have set that up. Remember how it would populate the same form with Anna's information. And as you can see, you got Anna Miller, and that's your name. And this is Anna Miller at gmail.com, right? And then she has something like just testing my very own site, right? And like I mentioned before, we didn't hook up this stuff yet. I'll do it towards the end when we give you the whole full thing. And then what I wanted to do is see if I can kind of go like this. Look, I want to delete it. And look, you got error equals to 8. That means you're going to get a message. And here it goes. Deletion completed successfully. Remember how I showed you that in the contact form? What we did was we put the information in. Then we hit the search button. Where is it? Right here, the search button. Then we also showed you how we can update by hitting the update button, right? Using the same form. And because you got this information here where it gets it back when you do the search, because you have PHP echoing the actual variable with the value in it, right? Remember that one? So what we do is, and what we did was, in this case, we did the delete button. So we hit the delete. Now let's see if we can find the delete software. I mean the PHP part. Okay, what is it? Why is not find? Oh, sorry, in the wrong place. This is the actual file. Boom, and you're gonna do that. And here it goes, the delete section. So remember how it said, because you use a form and using the method of post, if you hit the actual, everything is a submit, right? So now it submits, it comes over to the same file, and it's, oh look, it's this set delete, because you did say the form itself, which is, let me show you, has the name delete. Now I found it. Now it's going to record that record ID that you found from before, which is what, number, I don't know, what's number 4, right? It goes into here, and then it says this echoes this information, just to show you. Then you're going to create your query, and this time I called it query delete. That's the variable that you're assigning the SQL delete statement. And what you're going to do is you're going to say delete from the temp table where the rec ID equals, oh look, we're using the placeholder in this situation. Then remember we used the my connect, which happens to be this one, where it defines a constant and it creates a variable that you're going to be using for the PDO object, and you're going to create a new one and you're going to assign it to $db. That's what this is. And as you can see, $DSN goes at the first part, comma, and then of course the user, DB user and DB password, and this is how you will enter it respectively. This has to be in this way. And then what happens is we'll try this, right? And they say, oh yeah, it worked. If it didn't work, the catch system would have done it. The catch system, function would have caught it, and it would have caught that exception. It would have put it under $E, and then it would have ran the get message, which is the actual message. And if you took this out, you could include an error, the database error, PHP separate page, and all that. But I didn't want to do that. But I know it was going to work, so now it keeps going. So as it kept going, now you have this. The delete goes right back this way. Looks like that. Now you do the prepare statement. Remember, this is a this is the $DB is the object. Remember, we created that when we did this right here. Right here, $DB, when you created another object from this main object, right? So now you use the prepare statement, because that's the best way to do it. It's very secure. That's the best way. Always use the prepare statement. And then, of course, you're going to use the bind value. The reason why you're going to do that, if I would have had just like the number 1 here, or number 4, I didn't have to do all that. I could have just skipped this whole thing, went to the execution, and would have done it. Then I could have just redirect myself to the main page again with a message on top, like what we just see here, 8, which is what this is. And then of course you exit out completely, right, from the delete, from this delete condition. So you could have did something else too. You could have kind of make JavaScript do the thing for you, like give you an alert box like you normally would see. But in this case, I just wanted to go right straight back to the main script, and again, of course, with the query string right here, 8, and of course, I show you how the error, you get that error, and then it puts that error, prints it right here for you, right? All right, so it did that. So then what happens? We go down to the contact form, because all the command is in there, so we'll use that, right? So we could say view the database, and then we'll hit the view database, and boom, look, Anna Miller is gone. That was number 4. Isn't that wonderful? You can get right back over here. You know that you can kind of also create reports. I'll show you that in the next one. What happens is if you hit the create report, it creates a report. You need to enter an email else is great. I love that when it gave me that message because it was set up that way. So let's get back over here. You're gonna search it, insert it, it. How about we search for Andres Rivera? Right, we're searching it. We did search it. Let's go down to the contact form. It did. See, look, and now I can create a report from that. So if you hit create report, boom, there's your report right there. Not only that, you can actually see how it tells you this number here, because I am number 2, Andres Rivera. That's my email address section, because this is missing from my thing. So, and then you say, hey, how about printing this? So if you print it like this, you get a box. Why is this? You normally will get the, oh, here it goes. It's just kind of slow. Told you, my machine is slow as a buzzer. Hurry up and give me the information right here. See, loading, preview. Wow. That's anyway, you get the preview, you get the information right here, and then you say print right here. Oh, here it goes. So what you're gonna see is that you're gonna get this whole thing here, and it's gonna give you this whole thing. I'm gonna have to set it up so I don't have to see this right here, but hey, that's okay. So it gives me this. I can print it. I can print this part right here. That's it. Print this whole page. That's how simple that was. So what we could do is we could take this. So I can add it up to you. Just put it in the description below. So we say copy. Then we're going to open a new. Then we're going to add that PHP stuff. So give it a nice color, right? PHP. Oh, didn't give it a name. What should we give it? Okay, we say save as. Okay, that's so you have to save the file before you can see the colors. So we'll say, because this is called study for now, study, and we'll say delete.php like that. Because that's the file. See how colorful it is? It kind of broke it down, tells you what that is, so that way you can look at it. And this, I will push it into the description. All you have to do is print it out so you can take a look at it and have it. Okay, that will be not the what is it? This part right here, the create report. So what we could do is we can go back to the study. Let's go to contact form. Boom, boom, right here. Let me go to the contact form. Remember, you have to search it. You saw it that it came up, and then you can create the report from that because it found it, right? So if you go to create report, right here, read or create report. Or was it this one? What did I? Oh yeah, right here. Create report. This is the button right there. So you say create report, right? That's what happens. It submits it. This is the actual name that's coming up. So you got the actual name. So you come up over here. Oh, yeah, I can put it over here. That will take you there. Boom. There you go. It's a section right here. So now this little section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. The section, what this does is the same thing. Well, I kind of just did. Come on. Wow. You realize it had a lot of, okay, right here, it's good. And in this section, what it does is it acts just like the search. It does search it for you, puts it right up. But it also creates a thing. So remember how it does that? It looks at the email, because you have to put an email. And then it goes, oh, if his email is empty, then of course go here, says error 11, and it'll probably give you something like, oh, this something, oh, that message that we just saw. There was a message that you need to put an email. And then now that the email is not empty, right, you do this part, which is the else. And now you create, it's the same thing like the search. You create the actual select statement. This time I'm using the actual email address, right? I didn't have to do that what is that? Bind value. So now what happens is I do this part, right? I do the connection to the database. Then it creates the database. This is the object. Now we're using the method called prepare, and then uses this variable for us. So now you're preparing. And then when you come over here to execute, it'll execute this whole thing. And this is what gives you that. The fetch all gives you the fetch all is a method, gives you that information, then you close it up. And of course you create your report, right? So you could say that, because no, that's to clean it out just in case there's something in there. The count is 0, okay? Then you create your variable with a dot equal sign, meaning that I'm going to put this first one. After that, there will be dots too, because that means this will append to it. We'll append to it and append to it. That's what you see here. See, you create this part and then you read this part and appends to the back of this, right? Now the same thing. We're going to use the for each, right? This is what you fetch the variable check data. So what you do is for each check data, I want you to put it into the C data. And now this is for me for when I do testing. I'd like to do these kind of things and then close it up over here. And so that way doesn't do anything. I just want to see this information. But right, I completely, actually this needs to be like like that. Now, so same thing. You're going through the database, right? The table, and now you're gonna put it in here. You're creating a table for yourself, and this is why it's so nice and neat. I could have had the lines and stuff, but I want to make it look like a report. So this is how you do it. So it's a $C data, the first name, last name, email, and address, what you see, and of course city and vehicle. And if I had some information, it'll pop right up there. Then you have a count of 1. The reason why I did that is because I wanted to keep track of what it is. And right now it's just 1. See, total records 1. That's why I wanted to do that. Make it look like a report, right? And then, of course, this is what this is. Breaks it down, gives you that. This column span means that the total should should do the whole span of this whole thing. That's the lingo that you need when you're creating tables in HTML, right? When you want to expand and you want to add the column span, so that way it expands to the whole thing. Otherwise, you would have like a thing here, then this probably would have been pushed up this way. And then that's it. You go like this, and it creates the whole thing. Did I what was it called? That's the delete. So how about we just push this right up, save it, and we're going to put it in another file. This is for you guys, and of course we're going to add this stuff. But of course you need a name. You gotta get the name there. It has to be saved. Oops, sorry. You need to save it to, I'm gonna say study, create, report, .php. And of course I'll be in the description, okay? And that's about it. That's what does this. And of course this prints gives you the, what is that, the JavaScript? Where is it? Right here, see? It gives you the button, and on the click of that button, Windows, which is the actual Windows, the actual desktop stuff, they have a method called print. It's a function with the word print on it. Right here, print page. And once you hit that, it runs this. And that's what gave me that dialog box with this whole thing. And remember, you saw that with the left, you have the continue. You continue the printing by just saying print, right? That's what that is. That's what it does. And that's it. Again, I'm gonna get a chance. Let's see. I'm gonna save this just in case. Now we've done that. So what we're gonna do is on the next one. Oh, come on. On the next one, we're going to do the JSON. That's a way I'll explain to you what JSON is. Right? We're going to create it and then we're going to read it. That's just another way of reporting, and it's just JSON. This is a type of, it's a structural language, right? It's kind of like XML. And what do you do it? But easier, way better as objects, really. But what happens is you take this information, right? You're gonna see it and I'm gonna print it out on the beginning of the actual. Maybe right here too. Maybe I'll pop over. Let's see. Oh look, it came up here. So we'll pop it right here. Plus, it'll give you the actual the PHP's script part of it, right? Won't do that. So right now, if I did with the form, what's the format? Is this the form? Yeah. So if I went to the form, where is it? Create and read. Right here. It'll go to JSON, right? Like this. And if I print it, I'm going to show you that one on the next video, really. Let's see, we go like this, give you the JSON, that's the messages. Okay, let's get to the point, buddy. There you go. There you go, right here, JSON. It looks up the JSON, create same things like the search, it reads it, you connect it, you prepare and all that crap, and then you build it up, and then you create a JSON file. But I'll explain to you on the next one. Anyway, I hope you liked this one. It was kind of good. It was simple. It was fast. Just give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you need to, and comment on anything. If you think that I went too fast or if you need more information, let me know. Anyway, until next time, have a good day.